What's good, everyone? All right, we're back at you with another one again. All right, this time we're going to talk about something special. No negativity. This is all surrounding Caitlin Clark in a good way. Um, but I if you see right here, clearly, clearly, she was the rookie of the month of May. Um, I believe Joe Wilson is player of the month for the West, and I think Aaliyah Thomas is the player um, of the month for the East. And clearly, um, Caitlin Clark was rookie of the month. Clearly, she had a 30 piece in the month, her first 30-point game. Um, she definitely earned it. She played high, even though her team has a losing record, but that didn't stop her from still performing at a high level. And see, this is where people just don't understand the game of basketball. But I'm gonna share a piece of video with y'all real quick, and it's from the Liberties, New York Liberties head coach Sandy Brondello, if I'm pronouncing her name right. She gave one of the most beautiful precise interviews when it came to questions about Caitlin Clark in the sport of or the game of the WNBA. And she made it perfectly clear at the end of her video who time is it. She didn't say Angel Reese. She didn't say Cameron Brink. But I'm gonna let you listen to for yourself.
Look, I think it's just the whole momentum, the movement that we have at the moment. It's very exciting, and Caitlin, just the impact that she's had on this city and this franchise, but also on the WNBA. And it's I've been there from the 1988. I've only missed the first season there, but finally getting that recognition. But because we've had other great players, and it's just this time is finally come for us. So for me, better late than never. happy to be a part of it, and hopefully it's a great game tonight.
When you look at, I guess, some of the challenges that young, talented players you coached before have faced transitioning into the league, what are some of those challenges, and what could Caitlin face this year?
Yeah, look, I think she's an amazing talent, and she's going to have a really, really great pro career. But come from college is different than the pros, and that's why I think that's the biggest adjustment. She's got the skills, but how do you play? Learning all the new opponents, the physicality of the league. I think that everyone's an athlete here. Everyone's skilled. It's the WNBA, so you're not going to have any letdown there. But a young player, I think she's mentally tough, and she's got obviously a great future ahead of her. And my advice would just focus on what you can control, and don't get too high or too low, because it's going to be a journey of highs and lows. But that's for every athlete, not just Caitlin.
Sandy, do you see it as sort of, she's a player who is in a place where people have been building, steps have been going on. She comes in, the NIL started about 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, sometimes, I'm not saying she's right place at right time, but this is right place at right time for maybe women's sports.
100%. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, look at, Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi. They had to go overseas in Russia and make their money. Brianna Stewart, there was no, not the NIL with what they're getting now. I mean, they're earning millions of dollars. I don't know how much they earn, but they're earning money, good money, which, the players that come before them that have paved the way had to go overseas. And but better late than, like I said, it's better late than never. Hopefully this just continues to grow, and like she's, what a great legacy to leave behind. Like, I think everyone's getting behind women's sport, and obviously it starts with the media and then getting people on TV, and the product's really good. And so hopefully that's the support that will continue to grow. Expansion is going to be exciting too, because I think we have so many great players don't even make it. So I think we need more expansion to continue to grow this league.
Coach, I was wondering specifically, just to build on the question earlier about players early in their career, specifically for guards. You were already a pro when you came you had a lot of experience, but how much has the demands on guards changed in the history of the WNBA? there? Could you put that in perspective?
Yeah, look, I think the demands, I think it depends on the program that you come through, how we want to play the game. But I think, and Caitlin, she's, system's probably going to be built around her. And so that's adding a lot, probably more demands on her, especially in a 40 game. Yes, she played a lot of games in college, but this is a different level and every game's going to be tough now. Obviously, we have charters, so it's going to help the recovery. But in, game one, she had a tough night, but you have to have a short memory, don't you? But that's the beauty of this league. You just got to get to that next moment. Teams we're positionless. It depends on who's around you, but I think she has to play a big role as facilitating, playmaking, scoring, and she has the ability there. But and in the end, it's about the team. It's not just about Caitlin. So I think she's got some really good quality players around her, and they're still a young team, and they're going to keep getting better and better.
Sandy, I'm sorry.
No,
You
go ahead. We'll take one more.
sure.
I mean, a big deal was made when Stewie said, to be the all-time greatest player, you have to win a championship. Which, what else is she going to say? She won a bunch of championships. I would have said the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, is it kind of good for the league to build up little rivalries and stuff like that? Or
Well, I suppose Caitlin probably wouldn't want it that way either, and you have to look at it on her bank. But yeah, I mean, best league, how many championships she did win? They always look back at that. And, she didn't get to do that, but she made some Final Fours, so she's in that discussion there. But Stewie's Stewie won 4. I mean, that's unheard of with what she did in her era, and she's a great young talent. But I think you have to realise the other players, the great players we have around it, and it's unfair for Caitlin for it to be just about her. It really is unfair. It's not right. She's young. She's going to have highs and lows. Let's celebrate all the great players in our league, not just one player.
And then a question about Caitlin, you've coached against so many of the greats that have come through this game. I'm not asking you to compare her specific game, but the approach you have to have when a player garners so much attention, does it remind you of anyone maybe that you've coached or coached against when it comes to game planning?
Yeah, look, Diana Taurasi, I mean, you got to coach her. I mean, everyone used to have a game plan. Let's stop Diana, play her physical, make it hard for her, put her in the action. That's when you're a great player, you be spoken about, you have very great skills. I mean, that's what the opposing team's going to do.
Hey, Coach. Thank you for joining us. Wanted to ask, from a coach's perspective, you probably have watched film upon film upon film of Caitlin Clark. So my question to you, from that coaching perspective, what makes her different from so many of the other generational talents that have come through this league, and what makes her the great hope for this league in the sense of her on-court play?
Look, I think firstly we've had other great talent come through. It's just at the moment this is Caitlin's time with the skill set. Diana and Sue were coming through. We had, before that was Swoops and Lisa Leslie. So that we've had some amazing high-end talent. This is Caitlin's time. I mean, I think those players, and you put Diana and Stewie and Jill Lloyd, and obviously the list goes on, as they come in, they're confident in what they do. I think a lot of that helps. They know, they know how to shoot. Most of them knew how to put the ball in the basket. They've, but I think they've had the ball in their hands. They've grown in confidence, and that helps. They believe in themselves, and the people around them believe in them, and that's.
Now, you hear what she had to say. You hear clearly what she had to say. She didn't demise Caitlin's skills. She didn't say Caitlin wasn't a good player. She didn't say Caitlin doesn't bring anything to the table. She clearly pointed out everything that Caitlin is, a great player. When you come into the league and you that top dog, everybody's going to focus on you because they know what you can do. She also said there are other players that came in the league, like her player, Brianna Stewart, and you have to play them differently. You can't play them the same way how they was operating in college because they are a special player. That means Caitlin is getting played differently because of her skill set. Everybody knows that this is unprecedented. even Rebecca Lobo said this is unprecedented of her getting played this way because there no rookie ever came in the league that got played like that. Now, Sandy did say that when Diana Taurasi came in, they had to do her the same way because of the kind of player she is. They're not playing Angel Reese like that. They're not playing Camila Cardozo like that. Hell, they're not even playing her own point guard, Sabrina Ionescu, like that. Now, they played her like that when she came in, but now she has a team around her. So they have to play her differently. Sandy said the same thing with Caitlin. The team gonna have to be built around Caitlin. Now, she said that Caitlin do have some decent pieces. I beg to differ on that. But the one key thing that Sandy said, this is Caitlin time. She didn't say nothing about nobody else in that conversation. She specifically said, this is Caitlin's time. They already know. Like she said, charter flights are good now because it helps you recovery and being tired. But you have to have a short memory. And she recognized Caitlin's young. She's going to have a short memory. She's going to have it rough. Now, I'm going to play another clip of First Thing First. And I really don't agree with a lot of, what's the guy named Nick Wright? But he made valid points too.
I think he actually makes some good points there. I also think the WNBA is not doing a good job when it comes to protecting Caitlin Clark, in that they have played as many games in the last 9 days as the Aces have played all season, which is bananas. So they've played 11. No one else has played more than 9. The Aces have played 6. This was and by the way, they've played 6 games against the 3 best teams in the league. And so, obviously, the league wanted to get Caitlin out there, get her on TV. I do think, oddly, this is going to lead to late season Caitlin Clark being excellent. They don't have another back-to-back the rest of the way. There is 5 days. They don't play again until Friday, and then they have rest between games. So I think that'll be good for her. I also think I find so much of the Caitlin Clark discussion is actually about the Caitlin Clark discussion and retroactively angry about why we weren't talking about the WNBA more then, but now we talk about it now. People get mad at that. So here's the thing. I think it is very clear what's happening. There's a little bit of rookie hazing. There's a little bit of jealousy. And like everything in America, there's a little bit of racial dynamics at play here too. Because this is a overwhelmingly black league whose stars have always been a little disproportionately white. And I think there is some real angst about another white player being pushed to the forefront. As it happens, though, a lot of the greatest women's players of all time are not like some great white hope thing. Diana Taurasi is unbelievable. I mean, Ionescu, in this era. And so that's just how it's happened. And so I think there's a lot of layers to it. I also think Caitlin Clark, yes, her teammates should have her back, but I don't think she needs media protection. I think she is a trash-talking badass that right now is, a little worn down, a little beat up, and is going to bounce back. I don't feel badly for Caitlin Clark. I think that the revenge tour will be great, and I think it will come. But it seems almost patronizing to her at times, some of the commentary about protecting her. While I agree with Matt, they should have.
Oh, like the league protecting her because she's.
All right, there you have it. Nick Wright said, their schedule is going to leave me up, and plus, it's going to help Caitlin Clark. And I think Caitlin Clark is going to start having these 15, 17, 20-plus games now, especially when they play Friday night. I think she's going to have another breakout game. I think she's going to come out, the Fever, believe they're going to get a win. They're going to have a hell of a game. Caitlin's going to be well-rested. She's going to play her game. Yeah, we already know a team's going to try to play her different. But I think this time around, with all of this time, she's going to be able to play the game that she needs to. She's going to shut up critics as always. And like I said, they play Friday. They don't play again until Monday when they play play the Suns. Then they don't play Tuesday. They don't play Wednesday. They play the Dream at home on Thursday next week. So the Suns game probably will be tough, but I do believe they'll beat the Dream. I do believe they'll beat they might play the Suns different. The Suns, Connecticut Suns will probably be a little bit close game because they did play them close last time. They lost by 4 points, so I think it's going to be another close game. The Sun can be they can be had. They have not been playing very well, even though they're undefeated. But anyway, the point to what I'm saying is that people recognize what kind of talent Caitlin Clark is. You know what I'm saying? People are not dumb. People are not dumb. Caitlin Clark is a phenomenon. And just to go a little bit further in this, besides her, let me see I'll look at some other numbers she has to put up because there's been so much dialogue about Caitlin Clark and everything, and there's a whole lot of deeper issue with the whole situation. Let me see what I'm looking at right now. All right. Caitlin Clark, her first 10 games, she scored 150 points, 50 rebounds, and 50 assists. She's she's the second player who have done that. And the other player was Sabrina Ionescu. So to sit here and think that she's not moving the needle or she doesn't bring anything to the table is asinine because it's out of jealousy. Even Dan Patrick had to clarify that, and here we go.
Angel Reese spoke to the media. She didn't speak to the media after the game against Caitlin Clark, but a member of the Chicago Sky, the national title winner at LSU, and she talked about where all this attention started with her and Caitlin Clark, and she had this to say.
It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me, too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Okay. If she would have left it with what she had to say right before the last couple of words, I would have been fine with it. She's embraced the villain. She understands social media. She's done quite well. She is literally cashed in. But her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark. Because she wins the national title, first thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. And then she doesn't even celebrate with her teammates. So she's made it personal with Caitlin Clark. Then she's played off of that. Even Caitlin Clark getting knocked down in that game on Saturday, who's standing up applauding but Angel Reese? So she's sort of embraced a Draymond Green role here. But the eyeballs on the WNBA really have to do with Caitlin Clark. Now, you might, if you stay long enough, maybe you'll see something or someone there you go, okay, I'm entertained by this. But there's nothing wrong with admitting that you watch a sport because of one singular person. People watched golf because of Tiger. Right? You tuned in. No matter what event Tiger was playing, you were going to watch. They're still trying to capitalize on him. Playing in the U.S. Open. NBC and Peacock, their graphic has Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, and then who's looming larger on the screen but Tiger. So they're still trying to squeeze everything they can out of Tiger. When Gretzky got to the L.A. Kings, Messi goes to the MLS. Maybe Connor McDavid with Edmonton. You're trying to... There's somebody you may tune in to watch, and then maybe if you watch, then maybe you appreciate what you're seeing. WNBA has been around a couple of decades, and people didn't notice the game. They're noticing it now. Well, that's because of Caitlin Clark, not Angel Reese. Angel Reese has played a role in this, And she's a very good player. But there's nothing about her game that's really interesting that is going to translate to people who may not watch the WNBA, may not care about basketball. She is a social media star, and she has capitalized on that. And maybe she embraces being the villain. But make no mistake about it, Caitlin Clark is the reason why everybody has an opinion on what happened in that game. It's Caitlin Clark.
All right. Again, Caitlin Clark has driven viewership, sales, everything, attendance, records, everything. Don't matter if she's home, don't matter if she's away, she drives viewership, attendance. And I'm going to show you something. See, if Angel Reese thinks that she moves the needle, then she's sadly mistaken. Like Dan Patrick said, she's part of it, but it's not the solely reason why. Check this out. All right, so the game Saturday. The game Saturday between the Fever and the Sky. The most viewed program of the day on cable. 1.53 million average viewers on ESPN. Viewership peaked at 2.19 million average viewer on ESPN. Viewership are plus 346 versus 2023 regular season average on ESPN. Because it was a marquee matchup between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Despite the situation that happened in the game, they was there to see Caitlin Clark. The Fever broke in that attendance. They broke what they did in 20 games last year. They did in 5, and it's going to get higher. They have the highest average attendance in the league over any team. Like I said, you put Caitlin Clark, despite they losing record, put them on TV anywhere. Guess what's going to happen? People going to tune in. Like this Friday, they go to the Wizards. Not the Wizards, but the Mystics. I'm sure the Mystics going to have to change venue because they're going to have a lot of fans. Caitlin Clark is going to drive a lot of fans there. People there is going to want to see. So the arena that they hold by like 4,000, 5,000 is going to have to be bigger because they need to pack it in a different area. So I say this to say that let's not get it screwed because even Monica Manut, everybody's jumping on her bandwagon and talking about how she handles Stephen A. Smith. But Monica Manut ain't stupid. She clearly said at the end of that segment, the great players who paved the way for Caitlin Clark is for Caitlin Clark to come and take the league further. Everybody acknowledged a great talent that Angel Reese is, but she's not on the level of Caitlin Clark. It's just not. I don't even know how to understand it. Tell y'all because y'all don't understand that. Y'all should sit here and just try to put Angel Reese on the same pedestal as Caitlin Clark, and she's not. That wouldn't even be fair for Cameron Brink to be put on the same pedestal for her. And I think Cameron Brink is a better talent than Angel Reese is because she's taller and have a better all-around game. Angel Reese is bitter because she's not the forefront of the conversation of the face of the league. And she can't be because she doesn't have the kind of game she does. Like Dan Patrick said, everybody has said it. The only reason why Angel Reese exists is because she did that. No, you can't see me in Caitlin Clark's face because Caitlin Clark was doing it. She was trash talking all these other players. and she won the national championship for, and she did it in her face. She did it in her face as payback, and then she did the ring and followed her all around the court, in which I felt that was classless. But continue to look at that. Continue to show that, because when she wins Rookie of the Year, there's nothing you can take away from her, because she'd already clipped accolades. And if she has another explosive month of the month of June and become Rookie of the Month again, that's going to show you her greatness all over. And there's nothing you can do. You can't take greatness away from a person that's already great. So until then, y'all have a blessed day. Continue to like, comment, subscribe. This your boy, Livewire Sports, and I'm out.